easily navigate around and see more than one, either days or weeks. When it comes to the views, we actually, I want to jump a little bit to the side to show you the groups. You already know about groups properly, and you probably also have all these public groups where you have set up how the organization is looking, so you can find the right departments. But what many people don't know is that the My Groups is both groups that I can create, but it's also other groups that I favorize. And if I go on this one, you can see there's a small star on the right side. So if I click on that one, I actually favorize that group. And now you can see that the group is here. And I can be working inside one area with the different groups of my choice, instead of jumping back and forth between the different groups. So when we go back to the views here, I have some different functionalities here. I can work on a larger scale now, but sometimes I need to be able to focus on something specific. And in this case, I want to look more on the Friday here. And you can see that in the top, I have the zoom function. So the zoom function, first of all, gives me more space for that day. But what it also does is it turns it into a 24-hour zoom. This is really helpful for organizations that have people around the world in different time zones, because as you can see with the office hours here, that I can directly look at Amanda and see that we should not try to make a meeting in my morning time because she's actually in a different time zone. So for people working in different time zones, this can be really beneficial. And one click and I'll be back to my view again. So this is the group focused view, you could say. I mentioned earlier that we had this toggle, and this toggle is being used especially by personal assistants that needs to work on their managers, but on a more personal level. So instead of jumping to my notes client and opening a database for manager one and go in there and try to make the different adjustments, I can just click here, or I can use Control 0 or Option 0 on Mac to toggle between my group and my person-focused views. So in here, I'll be looking at people, and it's very easy for me to add extra people. I can just click in the top here, and then I can choose, let's say, Bonnie, and okay. And now she will be part of the people that I want to have a personal focus on. This is great for, let's say, if I'm managing my boss's calendar, then I can do all the things that I'm allowed to do based on his or her credentials to me. So I can just drag and drop and create meetings on behalf of Beverly, just as if I were her. I can also use the notice area, which I will show you in a minute, to respond on behalf of invitations to her. I can do meeting polls, which you will see later on behalf of her. And I would also be able to do catering orders and things like that on behalf of Beverly. In the views, I have a day's view and a week view. And again, I can use Alt 1 or 2 or option 1 or 2 in order to see. And as you can see here, I suddenly have a very long time frame on her calendar. So toggling back, I'm in the group view again. So looking at a filter in here that many people are using, especially when it comes to vacation planning, etc., are the legends here. One thing that a lot of people don't know is that you can have multiple legend sets. You could have a main set here where you see the general things, vacation, out of the office, things like that, working from home. But then you can also create other sets, like I have one called IT services here. Suddenly it turns the color into something else. Now I'm showing colors for different projects. Or if I was in the sales department, I could suddenly look at what do we have of client meetings? What about event planning, which is not so much unless it's online events or marketing. I will then be able to colorize them to give me meaning in the specific situation that I'm working in. So basically, you can have as many sets as you want. This has to be configured centrally, so everyone is on the same page on what they're talking about. When they're talking about a red color, it is, for example, at home and not vacation or something else. Okay, so these were the daily and weekly views and the person-focused views. What I also can do is, which a lot of people know about, is the time off, which can show me vacation planning. I can manage people in my department on whether we still have resources in the summer holiday season or things like that. But what we also added was now we can print. So in the top, I have a print here. And I can now not only days or weeks, but I can also print the time off of the people that I selected. And when I say print, I'll get a nice print that I can go for at the printer. Good. Another one that we have is the new list views, which I really, really like. There's so many potential with these things, and probably a lot of you haven't seen it yet unless you are upgraded to the latest versions. In here, I can start seeing data, finding data in a list format. I have on the left side, a very thorough different types of search possibilities, and I get the results on the right side. So let me have an example. I want to focus on the people working from home office because we are in this pandemic times, and we have maybe, let's say, some rules that we should only be half of the people in the offices, and the rest should be from working from home. So let's say that I want to do a category saying home office on all the people here in the organization, and directly I see all the events on people working from home. This could be something that the management wanted to see. Let's say that they wanted to have a report every month whether we are on track with how many people are working from home in our organization. So maybe I want to save this search with the different things that I added. And I just go to my presets here and say save. Home office report. Okay. And as you can see now, I have actually two because I already had one before. So every time I go in here, I can just choose the preset and I get the result. So what can we do with the result? The interesting part here is that if I'm going to do a report, I would probably not do it here. I would do it in Microsoft Excel because then I'm used to making pies and charts and all the different colors for what the management love to see. And therefore, we have made an export function. So when I click on export, it takes the result and export it in a CSV file. And if I open this file, it opens in my Excel with all the different data that is based on this. So here I can then move on and make my report So I get a really nice report on how the situation is. So those are the list views. Just a small quirk here is that I can resize the sidebar. And earlier on, these were related between the views. But since this view requires more focus on my search, then we have changed that. So if I'm in my week view, I can have a different size so I can focus on the views here. While when I'm in my list view, I will focus more on my search area. One other thing while we are up here is this question mark. And basically, this is something that all users should be aware of, because if they want to learn more about OnTime, we have actually connected each version to a specific playlist where there are tutorial videos on all the different things you can do in your desktop client. So they will see whatever version they're on, they will see the equivalent functionalities that are available for them. There are a very few customers that are not allowing users to be able to access YouTube. And for that, we actually have a configuration so you can download the videos and you can store them locally and then add it to there instead. So just so you know that is also possible. On the right side, we have the configuration, which you probably know of, but we have extended that with several different things. The old ones, the language date format, that is have been there for a long time, but we also now have made a startup. So this way, we have had users that says, oh, every time I start up OnTime, I get to somewhere where I left it, but I actually want to start it up in my department always. And in here, we can actually choose which type of views that we want to start up, whether it's a week view or a person day view or whatever we like. And we can then also select which group we want to start up in. And these groups are my personal groups. So either the personal groups or the one that I showed you before, which was a public group that I favorized, I can choose that I want to start up in this group every time I start the client. The other thing is that we have imported the work hours from your Domino settings, and you can also set them up here. And those are, of course, the ones that have the bluish area that I was talking about earlier on. And then we have some, yeah, I would call it an Easter egg, but because I didn't know it was there, to be honest. If I go to the About document and I'm having trouble with my client, I want to get some support for your internal support team. And what I can do is I can click on my name in the top. We will make a button, don't worry. I will get all the technical information on what browser am I running on, what is the OnTime, what version, the settings I have, who I'm logged in as, etc., etc. And I can then copy that or send a mail, so I can send it to my internal support, and they will have an easier time helping me as a user. But I like the idea, and we should do it more so it's more in the face of the user, of course, in the future. Okay, so that was the overall views, etc. But since there's a lot of customers and a lot of users that are using OnTime for viewing, for the overview. And OnTime is great for that. It's so flexible in time frame and people you want to see, etc., etc. But a lot of users don't know that you can also start creating meetings and do things right from here instead of starting all over in your notes clients after you have gotten the overview. So let me give you an example. If I want to select some people, I just start typing in. You can see Ian and I will go to Ian. I can then click on Ian to mark him, or again, because I like shortcuts, I just use the space bar. And then I search for Beverly and space bar, and then I search for Edward and space bar and Jerry. So basically here I can easily find the people in my view along with a lot of people. But when it comes to trying to get my overview of them, it's not easy because everyone else is there. So we have this functionality in the top, which I really like to use, which is show selected. And then I just move everyone else away and I can focus on only those people that I want to find time with. Maybe I want to directly add them to a group because it could be the next project that we're doing ad hoc for 3 months. So I can quickly go to my groups here and I already have everyone in. I name it. Maybe we are sitting in the same location and we have some rooms nearby and we would like to get the overview of the rooms availability as well. So I just add some rooms here. I don't like the way that the alphabetical order is on everything. So maybe I should just say sort manually and then drag down the rooms in the button. So I can focus primarily on people. And maybe Edward is our project manager. So I actually want to put Edward in the top. And while we are at it, I want to share it with the others. So I can share it with the members that are in the group. And right now I'm the owner. I could add more owners to it so they can update the same group. It's also nice if I switch jobs, so I get another job in the organization, but now I want, let's say, Amy or Beverly to, let's see here, add her down here. So this way I can then leave this group and she can take over. Okay. Save it, and I have my group on the left side, my new group here. Okay, so back to the finding time for our meeting, and you can see in the top I have what we call a meeting. What is it called? Meeting finder, Jens?
Sorry, meeting assistant?
Meeting assistant, thank you. It disappeared on me up here. Okay, so the meeting assistant helps me with several things. It shows me different...
Lars?
Yes?
Can I just interrupt? I see there are some people trying to download the newest version. I am so sorry, but right now, unfortunately, Lars and I are not at the office. Had we been that, we would have been out of reach of the internet because right now the Danish research internet is down, which means that our office is down. So it'll be back in an hour, hopefully. Sorry.
Along with multiple other companies as well.
Yes.
So we are happy that we're working from home, and right now there's no background noise with me because next door they are tearing down walls, but I asked them to go on early breakfast or early lunch. So that's why we don't hear anything right now. But anyway, back to the meeting assistant. As you can see in the top, we have 3 different colors. Red makes sense. People are not available. Green, everyone is available. And then we have white. And white is basically, there are available space, but not for my duration. So this helps me focusing on maybe we can shorten our meetings a little bit and find time tomorrow instead of waiting 2 weeks to find the time. And then all there is to do is just to drag, and you can see there's conflict checking here, and I get everyone into the meeting, and I can do my meeting directly from here. Instead of going out, going to my notes client, create a meeting, find the right people again, and then choose in the time. So you would greatly benefit on doing this right away. Another cool feature that is in here is the find free time as well. So if we are moving a meeting, we can directly see green spots on the next 3 months on when we could move the meeting to, and then rebook the meeting as well. Along with other features that are in here, like catering, etc., that we will not do today, that is also possible directly from inside my my client. And now you can see I have my topic and I have all the other invitations here. Good. Something that people really are not very aware of is that I can, if I have the rights, I can just create things on people. So let me just create an appointment here. Oh, that was actually red because it's back in time. Let me just move a week from now. So let me make an appointment here. And save it. So as you can see, I made the event here. And what happens now is sometimes in situations where you overview and coordinate several people, it could be in customer service centers where they get a call and the customer says, someone is out next week. They don't know who it is, they just know the company. So what I do is I just go up here in my search where I can search for people and different things compared to people. And I can also search for events or calendars. So here I can search for both the topics, the locations, the categories. I can even search for invitees. So if someone is in the building and we need to get an emergency call for this person that is a guest, we can find out which room they're in, etc., etc. But back to the topic here is that ACMA calls me and they want to rearrange the event. And you can see by adding up here, we just filter everyone else away and easily we can find who is at this customer. In this case, because I was searching and finding the customer name in the subject. So it's very easy to find, but what we also can do is drag. So I can take that and drag it for tomorrow. And what happens here is that I will then change that event inside Beverly's calendar. And at the same time, I will send a mail to her telling her that this has changed. So that is very easy. But what we also can do, and that less people actually know, is I can take this event, and if I want to move it to Friday, we can see that Beverly is already booked there. I can grab this one and I can move it to someone else, release it. And what happens is that now I will book it into Chris's calendar, delete it from Beverly's calendar, and send a mail to both of them telling them that we switched. This is something that takes 5-10 minutes to do. I have to go into Beverly's calendar, copy all the content out, delete the event, go back to Chris's calendar, create an event, copy all the content in, go to my mail, send the mail to both of them, and then I'm done. Here it can be done with just a drag and drop. And another nice feature here, which we will make more visible later on, is that I can actually take a meeting that I already did and then hold the switch, the shift button down. And when I move this one to Friday and release it, what happens is I create a copy. So this way, I don't need to make my next project a meeting. I can just copy everyone in and then maybe change the agenda underneath and just send it. Conflict checking, you probably know of if you have tried to book in on time, so we will know if someone is not available, but I can still book. And now I have 2 events. So those things are very easy to manipulate when it comes to editing meetings. Okay, so let's go forward with our side panel here. So we have, you can see there's a red spot here. We have my notices, and some people are using it very much, and some people say, yeah, it's nice, but we never use it. But there are actually some good, cool benefits with using this. First of all, you get rid of the noise from the inbox with all your other updates. But what I also can do here is when I accept, I directly get some different options inside OnTime. So let's say that someone wants to invite me to a meeting, but I don't want people to see that meeting, so I can create it as private directly, instead of first accepting it and then afterwards going out and change the invitation that I got. I can also add categories on it. So let's say that I want to make this outside, out of the office, and I maybe want to make a comment for Edward. And when I say OK, what you can see is that, oh, I think it's over here. Now you can see that this invitation I got is in, and it has the out of office directly on it. So this one can really be used if you want to be able to add more things to your response of the meeting. Then we have the meeting polls, the Pollarity, that a lot of customers have, not everyone, but I want to go through it because it's so essential part of the coordination of meetings. And basically, when we started with this, our focus was that the customer said, our calendar data is private within the organization. We don't want it to float everywhere else. And sometimes when you need to create a meeting, either there's no time because everyone is blocked, and you have to ask for different suggestions. Should we do it Thursday or Friday? If you do it in a mail, and the more people that should attend the meeting, the more chaotic it gets. And basically what happens is that most people go and find another tool for it. So they go out and find a Doodle or a dozens of other solutions out there that does the same. But the problem here is now the data is not inside the organization anymore, because now they copy the topic and the names of the invitees and the mail addresses somewhere else, which is not what you want to do. So we created a solution that is in-house, so the data, the calendar data are safe, but we still can support the other situation, which is your customers, your business partners that you want to collaborate with and create meetings. So let me show you a situation where I add some people from local, from our organization, and I just press plus. So I get the people in here. I can put in a topic. I have my description, location, time zones, when I want them to vote before, so we are sure that we can come to a conclusion. I have the people down here. I can also add people. So let me say John add here. And now you see that it actually came up with a name. And that's because the first time you will be asked to add the name of this user, but then we will save it for duration of time, where the lookup will happen automatically when you type in an email address. You can do that one by one here, or you can also do it, let's say, really sophisticated by using the button Add Users. The Add Users, you can take a comma-separated file and just push 100 people in if you want. We actually have a customer in Germany where they have the C-level managers are part of an industry, and they have maybe 5,000 contacts. And they go in and then they export the data of people with a certain interests, and then they create an event, push those 100 people in, and people vote, and they find the best date for this event. So you can really go crazy in the matter of adding a lot of people in. Then I need to find times, and again, here we try to make it as easy for the users as possible. So what we are trying to do is that we already know the calendar data for the internal people. So why not suggest date and times where we know that those people at least are available. So let's say that I want to go to Wednesday. I have the availability of all attendees down here in the first line, and I have my own calendar in the second line. And I can see here that right now, let's do a second week because I already had Paul there. So I can just move it, let's say 10 o'clock at 11 o'clock. No, that was 30 at, and in the afternoon at, and maybe we want to do it on the 25th as well, 2 o'clock at, done. So now I have the different suggestions for the people, and I can just click save and send. Depending on where I am and which client I'm using, it will take the language of my native OnTime client. But let's say that I'm inviting some Japanese people, then I can create it in Japanese, or I can make it in German and things like that. Or I can do my own custom text if I know people very well and I don't want to make it so official. So that's up to me. So save and send, and off we go. And in the left side, you see that I have my poll now under my polls. I also have archive polls. So this way I can see back in time the polls that we have done before and the results that we did. So let me just open this one. This is an example that I made earlier today. I will get the accept and reject underneath. Sorry that I didn't get to do that. On the right side, something new has happened. So what we have done is that a lot of people asked us to say, yes and no to dates can sometimes be difficult. Sometimes I would say, Friday is not the best for me, but if everyone else can do it, we can do Friday. I will change my existing appointment and we will do Friday. But I say no to Friday, but on the conversation on the right side, I can then enter in and let me just move this away. And send it. So this way, everyone can see what is happening, both what people write, but also the changes that are happening. So if we add a new invitee or we add an extra date suggestion, then people can easily see, oh, that is what happened. There's a new date and I have to vote on that. When we are done, I can then turn this into a meeting like we have been able to do by clicking invite. It converts all the data that I originally put into the poll, and I can then send it out and it's getting booked. Good. I'm very fast, Jens, because I'm actually all the way through. So maybe we
Excellent.
should maybe we should have people asking
quite
questions.
a few questions. No, Lars, I already have a series of questions
Fantastic.
that we need to respond to. So we can get started with that.
Let me hear.
Search. Basically, one question was, can we search in a larger time frame than the one we are actually showing on screen? And yes, we allow that using the list, because then you can basically search in all the data that you have synchronized. But then that led to a product suggestion or a suggestion for an improvement, which is interesting. if you are in this view and you did a search, then it would be great. No, not in the list view.
Oh, which one?
Just in the view where you were. If you could do a search, if we did a search up here, and then that did not provide a result, but then we could jump to the first occurrence and basically just change the view so we show the view from where the first occurrence of a search result is.
Ah, okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
I
of course,
think,
you can move this up and then also search, and then
I think that was
zoom
Oliver,
down.
and I really like it.
Yeah. Good.
So I'll put that in our request database.
I think that would be a good idea, Jens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other questions or comments?
Yes. Same time.
Yes.
So I guess everybody is aware that same time is changing quite a bit at the moment. Right now, we are installing the new same time at our service. Once that is done, we will reintroduce the support for same time so that it works with 11, unless something is really broken, which we don't think it is. So yes, same time support is coming back soon.
And for those that haven't,
it was really unstable before, so that's why it's not really working.
Yeah, and just for the ones that have not had same time inside OnTime, you will see it visualized on the avatars here, so you can see whether people are available or not. And if you go to the business card, you will see them there. And just a small add-on to the business card that I forgot to mention actually in the in my walkthrough is the access level. So here on the business card, you can always see what you can do on this user. So whether you can create an edit or whether you can just view availability or see the subject, you will be able to see that. And for the really nerds, you can also click on it and then you can see which roles have access in which level to that user, which is not something I use normally, but it's there if you need it, or if you are sitting in a support desk and you need to find out why the heck the CEO is angry that Lars is being able to see his calendar or something like that. Another thing that also here was the out of office that I didn't mention. So if you have that enabled, you can also add the out of office and enable the out of office based on another person. Sorry, Jens, please continue.
No, you're not. That's fine. It's a question to the person focused view. So if you could change that, please.
Yep.
So the question here is it possible to rotate this 90 degrees? And no, it's not currently. The thinking here is that we wanted to make it possible to view as much time as possible at all.
And you can just scroll.
Can you elaborate on this, Tobias? You can just unmute yourself, please.
Tobias?
Yes, it's so now. Yeah.
I'm
here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So why would you, what do you think you would gain if we could rotate this 90 degrees?
It looks similar than to the notes client. Some users, I show them this view and they're a little confused because after days and hours, it's so compressed. So I cannot explain direct, but if we compare to the notes client, the week view, you have the hours on the left side, in the top row you have the dates. And here I have often more than one in one day. I have sometimes 5, 6, 7 meetings in one day, and here it's more clear. You know, in what time frame you have what meeting.
Is this the one?
Yes, this one.
Okay.
And here it's more, for me, it's more clear to know which time I have a meeting or something. And
Lars, could you try to change the time frame, please, in the so the number of lines in the group view.
And here it's a little bit, I don't know how to explain that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. View settings.
What do you
please.
want me to change?
View settings. So first of all, we both have, yeah. So row height, go to 6 or 7.
9.
You could. So Tobias, you could go as high as you, well, 9 is basically, most people will not have more than 9. We can go to 1. Sorry?
1 hour meetings, this displaying only P ... And in the notes view, I think you can read more of the title example.
Yes, you can. And it's a trade-off, of course, because what is it we want to do? But I get it. Could we show even more if we expanded on it? Yes, we probably could. So we can do better.
But maybe that would be like a third view up here.
It could be.
Maybe so we both have the possibility of seeing large into the future, or we can see by 1 week at a time, maybe.
Could you go to days, please, Lars?
Yeah.
Yeah. So still, that doesn't exactly provide you with what you're looking for, because now it's the other way around. You can still increase the line height, but it's not really what you wanted. Okay.
Honestly, yeah.
Okay. I think it's a good idea, Jens. We should look into it at least.
I'm adding it to the request list. That's why we're here.
Yep.
And
super.
Another question I write at the moment, but it's not sent. On the left side by the names, you have the title CTO also. Can we show there a phone number or something more? That we have 3 lines also?
Yeah. So as you can see here, I have name, title, and department. But this can be this you can configure centrally in OnTime to be whatever you like. Whatever data we have on the user, you can add it, and it's actually quite extensive that you can do it. So you could say, let me have the phone number / and the mobile phone, or a special extra added fields.
Cool.
But that is possible from in the configuration of your OnTime.
You with 6.7.6?
It has been there forever. But Tobias, I'd love to give you a call later and go through it in the configuration with you.
Okay.
Plus, there are more questions coming in, which is great.
Yeah.
So
I'll get back to you, Tobias.
Thomas Lauritsen, you are asking a question about Office 365. I will personally take care of that. I'll call you, because they are slightly different in the business card, so I'll give you a call. The Oliver is asking, can I mix full and free time users? How will this be used? Right. Lars, would you like to answer that one?
Normally, the free time users is, you could say, another topic. That would be part of our hybrid solution, you could say. So basically, if you have 2 sister companies that are working closely together, but one, you're on Domino, but the other ones are on Office 365, then what you want to do is to blend the availability. Yeah.
Just telling you, you got 1 minute, because after that, I'm going to request something else from you.
Okay. So let me do it fast. Yes, you can. As you can see up here, I actually have one called OnTime Germany. This is people from the Office 365. And I have one from Domino, which are the people from Domino. And you will be able to see people either with full details, or if it's free time users, you will just see them with availability.
Do you hear me?
Was that 1 minute?
Yep, we hear you.
Yes.
So it is not meant to be used within one platform. So I cannot mix. I have 50 users who are planning events, and they can see the free time info of all other 2,000 users. It's just for mixed environments, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Last,
Yeah.
there
Next
is a
one.
request. How fast do you actually have catering installed in the environment that you're working on?
Yes.
Is it possible to do a 2-minute demo?
2 minutes on catering. That was. Let me just.
It would be what I would call a snack.
So here I have some people. I want to create a meeting, and I create the meeting just like I did before with catering. Maybe I want to find a room where we should meet. I search for a room. Let's go for this one. And there are two flows normally. One is that I'll create the meeting, and then when I know who's coming, then I want to do add catering, or maybe I want to do it right away. So I can click on the catering orders here. It will default to the canteen where the meeting room is belonging to. And then I have different types, like whether it's representation, sales, and I have all these possibilities to look at the menu based on the time of the day that I'm ordering. And I can just add them. Let's say iced coffee looks nice as well. And I can just add them, get a receipt, or I could make more orders. So one for the beginning of the meeting and one for the lunch afterwards. And when I send that, it's being transferred. First of all, I can see it in my orders here, but it will be transferred to our catering manager view, which I maybe also have. I haven't tested this before, but as you can see here, I have the order coming in. I can then approve or decline the order. When I approve it, it goes to deliver, which makes sure that I will deliver the right things to the right rooms or things like that at the specific date. And then I have the whole workflow up here that I will not go into details for today, where I can then take things back after adjust them, send out billing, so I can export the data, put it into the ERP system, etc., etc. Was that fast enough?
Yes, thank you.
So actually, Lars and I debated it. What should we include in this 1 hour? We think we have more content that could be covered in 1 hour at any point. So you will soon receive invites for more webinars where we will cover in depth mobile, which we basically didn't cover today, which is more than half of our users are using that product. Catering, there's a new module, the visitor module, to control who's coming in and out of the building. We're just completing that for Microsoft now. We'll probably go with Domino as well. Quite a few things coming up, and also verse integration. I should have prepared a question there, but basically, anybody using verse, could you raise your hands? Okay.
I also have a verse.
Yeah. So there's okay. So actually, it's at this point, it's only Tobias who raised his hand for this. But still, I think that we will see more and more going to that, and with the direction HCL are heading in, it should be going that way. So, and we already did the integration for it. Most people actually just don't know it. We can get better at this. Okay. All right. Any more questions? Okay, I think that's basically it. We still have a couple of minutes if anybody's got a question. For the German part or participants today, I can tell you that Lars is in Copenhagen. I am 1,500 meters away from Germany, or north of Sylt, on the island of Rømø. So nearly in Germany, but we can't really go these days. Sad.
There's Stefan has his hand raised, Jens.
Does he?
No, not anymore. Now
No,
it
I
went
think
down.
that was me trying to do a really low key or unprofessional poll, but hey, it worked. We got an idea that a couple of organizations are using Verse, which is what I would have expected. But with the new installable product that HCL is coming out with, I think there'll be more. Okay, last, you decide. I don't have more questions as far as, so I know I will just walk through this. We did cover normal frame list view, yes. Search. And again, the upgrade, the site should be up and running soon. We're kind of out of control because that's a bigger area that's hit by an internet outage. So, but we'll be there soon. Okay.
Good. And after this session, Jens, you have recorded it, correct?
Well, I missed the first couple of minutes because it was simply too exciting. So, but otherwise, yes.
Okay. But we will send out a link to all the attendees if you want to look at it again, or if you want to share it with someone else. And we also probably we will ask for an address where we can send out this nice wallet.
Absolutely. Yeah, so the participants, yes, we will be providing you soon with a wallet. It needs to be produced, but they're in process of that. And we will send out a mail where we'll ask you to provide an address for us to distribute it. Yes.
Yeah. So if you need it to your private address or something like that, then please let us know.
Thank you, Lars.
Check.
All right.
Else, thank you so much for coming. It's fantastic to see so many people.
And there'll be more of these because, frankly, we're very happy with the turnout today, and we think we can even do better than that. And also, the questions are really good and helps us build a better product. Thank you, and thank you for yeah. All right.
Super. Have a nice day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and check out the rest of the playlist. You can also visit our website for more information and to try it out yourself.